So this afternoon, as of this afternoon, when I get off work, it's afternoon now, but not early, not late enough. We're gonna take our piggies. Where's she go? There she is. Including her. She likes to jump up on the fence. To market. So it'll be this one. Excuse me. This one. And just barely see her. That one down there. But not that one. That one is going to be our breeder. These two are going to go to market this afternoon. So that'll be kind of interesting. We're going to load them up in the back of the truck. We've got the truck all prepared. We've got some sides built onto it. I will cover the top with a tarp, but we'll load them up here. We'll got some ramps, and I know they don't like you crawling up ramps and things like that, but that's what we have to do because we don't have a trailer. So this will be just fine. We're not putting them in the van. Not putting them in the van. Just saying that out loud, just so everybody understands. Yesterday, and my kids will talk to you about it, but yesterday when we saw somebody else putting a cow in the van, I lost my mind because it was hilarious, and yeah, they thought they were going to have to put it was a poop joke on my gravestone. So anyway, having said that, we're going to get them in the truck later this afternoon and get them ready to go. Alright, so this is our setup here. Well, it was our setup until that fell over.
The baby's not part of the setup.
We have pallets here. Got one on each side of these ramps that we've got going up. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to push this pallet over here on that side, the one that he's holding, up closer to the ramps. So basically they really don't have any place to go. And then we'll just feed them right up the ramps here, and then hopefully they'll go right into the truck. I am going to put some food up here so that they can see it, and hopefully this will go smoothly. But we've loaded pigs before and it didn't go smoothly, so we'll have to see. So the good news is that we actually got them in.
Pork chops.
They're in the truck. We're going to put a tarp over the top to keep them from jumping out. And then we're going to tie that down. Dog, calm down.
I like you.
And then
stop jumping.
We'll be ready to go. Alright, so we're ready to go. Pigs are back there. You can't really see them because the tarp's in the way. But they're back there and we're ready to go. And this is it. So we'll see you when we get to the farm. Alright, so I just finished the next to last step in taking care of the pigs. And it's the next to last step because we actually have to go pick them up. This step was cleaning out his truck. This is my son's truck. I don't own a pickup truck. My son and my daughter own a couple of them. So I have to keep borrowing theirs, and that's as long as they live here, we're good with that. But just cleaning out his truck after this. So what I want to talk about for just a minute, the pigs went to the processor last night. It was a relatively uneventful trip. Actually, we got them loaded up much easier than we did last year. I'll connect to the video about that up here. And I'll connect to the video about picking them up when we first got them this year. And the reason I want to talk about that is I want to talk basically about why we do this. What do we get out of it? What is the benefit of taking care of our own pigs, raising our own animals? And some of it, I will admit that I haven't done all the math yet, but some of it has to do with the money. And I think money-wise we do break even. or come out ahead. And that's a positive. Last year we got the piglets. We did get feeder piglets, and they came. I found a really good deal. Basically, bought a bunch of runts, and they grew pretty well. We bought 4 of them for $25 each. I'm trying to get the gate locked as I'm talking, not having a lot of success. $25 each for the feeder piglets, and then we ended up with 2 of them going to the butcher, which sounds like not really good success rate. One of them died really early, and then again we had one that died of dehydration, which was really horrible thing. Feel really bad. We ended up getting the meat from her anyway. She was just much smaller than we would have liked to have her when she went, when that happened. Again, I'll link to that video up above. So, but what did we get? What do we get in the end? What is our takeaway from this? Like I said, money-wise, I think we did okay. Not great. We could have done better. Obviously, if we'd gotten all 4 pigs to maturity, that would have been better. Let's get this gate open. That would have been much better, but that didn't happen. It just happens sometimes like that. But, considering what we paid for the piglets, it actually kind of worked out well. Again, we still have to pay the butcher. Still have to pay for the processing. Have to figure in all the food that we fed them, and the gas to get out there, and all that other good fun stuff. And maybe we don't break out even. Maybe we are actually in the rear on that. And that's okay, because that money-wise is not the only reason. It certainly isn't. It is a big deal, obviously. We don't want to spend a lot more than we're spending. I'm trying to fix the electric fence. We don't want to spend a lot more than we're spending, than we would spend at the grocery store. But let's look at some of the other factors. Some of the other factors include what the pork tastes like. And I have to admit, we had some pork the other day that we got from the store, and you could taste the difference. It was not as good as the stuff that we were getting out of our own freezer. You're like, wait a minute, this doesn't taste the same. And it's really not as good. So there's that part of it. The other thing is, I know exactly what these pigs are getting fed. I know what they're getting fed. I know how they're being treated. I know where they live. I know their environment. So I know everything that's going into these pigs, within reason. Obviously, they're out here in the trees, and they're eating whatever they find out here, which I don't know exactly what they're finding out here, but I'm assuming it's, nothing bad. But, and then whatever I'm feeding them. And I know what I'm feeding them, which is good. The last reason, and I think one of the most important reasons, is preparedness, I guess. Preparedness, maybe that's not the right way to look at it. Access, maybe? Access, that's a good one. And I'm going to say that because I'm going to sound like a nut when I'm talking about this. I believe in being prepared. I'm not a prepper, personally, and there's nothing wrong with people that are. I have nothing against them. If that's what they want to do with their lives, that's fine. But I'm not a prepper. But I do believe in being prepared. I was a Boy Scout, not as cool as my kids who are Eagle Scout, who managed to get Eagle. But I was a Boy Scout for a number of years, and I believe in being prepared. I think there's nothing wrong with that. So when I'm talking about preparedness or access, I'm talking about having a straight line to the food source. We've seen food shortages, not USSR, Soviet Russia level food shortages, not people dying of starvation, food shortages, but we've seen some shortages in the last couple of years. And you go get the rushes on the store, and yeah, in another couple of weeks, everything's okay. But what happens when that doesn't recover as quickly? And so maybe I am a prepper in that way, but it's really just about thinking about what do we do if, we can't get the meat? Well, we've got our own source here, and we know where it's coming from, and we're prepared that way. We have the sound like Steve Austin. We have the technology. We can repair them. No, but we have this ability to raise our own pigs. Our neighbor raises beef. We're getting beef from him. Our goats eventually, not yet, but eventually will produce milk. We're getting eggs from our chickens. We raise meat birds. So we're getting meat and eggs and eventually milk. Those are big deals in most people's lives. And so, if that makes me a prepper, that makes me a prepper, whatever. But the idea is that we have the ability to get the food ourselves, and that's kind of what we did. So, yeah, maybe it costs a little bit more at this point to take it to the butcher and raise it ourselves. It certainly costs more in time than going to the grocery store. It costs more in laundry because I have to come out and clean up. Yesterday I came home and I was pretty darn muddy, and that's okay. But that's part of it. Part of it's getting down and dirty and dealing with it. And again, where our food's coming from. I know exactly where it's coming from, at least most of it. And hopefully this year we'll start getting more vegetables from our garden and stuff. But doing the pigs, taking care of the pigs, it's been fun. These pigs were actually pretty friendly. They were noisier than noisy. These are the noisiest pigs. Go in there and they just start squealing and grunting. They were happy. Most of the time I think they were pretty happy to see us. Obviously they wanted food, but that is the way it is. This has turned into kind of a ramble, and that's okay, I guess. Hopefully you don't mind it too much. But our pigs are gone now. We'll get them back in a week or so. I am learning to butcher myself. I did the one pig that butchered the one pig that that died during the year that was small but okay sized, and I just quartered it because it was too small to do much of anything else with it. And I will eventually grind it up, do some grinding, so we'll get some sausage and stuff out of it. But all in all, I think we're doing the right thing here. Is it cheaper? I don't know. Is it less time consuming? No. Do I have to spend a lot of time out here working with the pigs? And in fact, I've got to move the pig area to, because obviously they've done a really good job rooting this up really good. You can see the difference. Hang on, let me walk back down here. Show you where the fence line is. You can see where they've rooted and where they haven't. And they did a great job tearing this up, getting all the weeds and thorns and everything out of here so that we can plant stuff in here and plant pasture fodder in here. You can see there's the yellow tab right there for the turn. You can see where the difference in where they rooted and where they didn't. Rooted over here, not rooted over there. All torn up. Still got some vegetation and stuff growing over here. The plan is to plant some like cover crops, clover and things like that the animals will use really well for pasture, and then let them back in here again next year, or let the goats in here, or something like that. But yeah, it's not easier, it's not faster, it may or may not be cheaper, but no matter what it is, we do get the food. This is why we do it. We do it because we want to be We want to know where our food's coming from. We want to be able to produce most of our own food ourselves. And eventually get to the point where we're producing more than we can consume, so that we can then turn around and share it with our neighbors and our friends and our family, and maybe even make a few bucks on it in the process. Who knows? That may be a dream. Who knows? But we're here. This is where we are. And I'll leave you with a picture of the mama goat and her babies. So thanks for watching. Make sure you share it, like it, and share it. Let your friends know about it. And we'll talk to you next time.